and welcome to Finland TalentMatch Explore Fair. Our next speaker is Anton from Ilmiö Talent, and if you have questions for Anton, please write in a Q&A section. Welcome on stage, Anton.
Thank you. And hello everybody, and good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are currently. My name is Anton, and I'm a co-founder and a recruiter at Ilmiö Talent agency. And usually when you apply for jobs in LinkedIn or even company pages, sometimes you may come across an external consultant or talent agency that is handling the process. And today I hope to provide you some context about how these agencies work and how they can be useful for you. Of course, this will be through the lens and perspective of our company, so you will also get an introduction to our company and its foundings and some of our use cases or reference cases and basically what we do. And I hope that after my presentation, you know and understand how these agencies operate in general and how they can be help to you to get into recruitment processes or further your opportunities in the job search. So the agenda for today would be like this. I will first tell you a bit about ourselves and what we do, who we are, why we do what we do, and a bit about our vision, where we are going, and then a bit about our services. And this helps you understand the context of how Ilmiö and other agencies work in general, so you understand the underlying mechanics in these processes. And also I will tell you a bit about our clients and who we work with, and then a bit more about how we can help you specifically, how we can operate with individuals and reference you for a project or processes, and how you can actually get into connect with us and other agencies, what kind of information is relevant, and so on. So let's get started. So we are Ilmiö, tech talent agency connecting professionals with leading companies across the Nordics, mainly in Finland, but we also have some clients in Central Europe, Sweden, Norway, and Baltics as well. Our mission, in short, is to make recruitment a better, more human experience for everyone involved, and that can mean, of course, companies. We can help companies to streamline their processes and basically recruit better, recruit faster, and with more human touch if the application load is large, for example. And then, of course, for people who are applying for these jobs, to make sure that the information is in time and these processes go fast for you. We specialize in technical and commercial, and in some cases also niche roles across Europe. Mainly we work with the digital companies who build digital products or consult in technical fields. Our approach is a very much human first and data informed. Of course, AI is everywhere, and data is also you basically need to have data and make decisions based on that. So we try to also keep up with the times and use those tools to our advantage, and also to make these services better. In these processes, we usually focus on people, understanding them, what they would like to do, what kind of companies they'd like to do, who they like to work with, and find the perfect match that way. Some backstory here, why we are here. Basically, during the COVID times, we were all three founders working on our own fields within corporate setups, and thinking of together that what we should do with our work life, and is there something else to this than this, and then we just thought that, hey, we maybe should found our own company, and one of us had been working in recruitment for a bit longer at that time, and he had some great ideas, which we then turned into reality pretty quickly. And of course, the underlying motivation here is the better work life for us, but also to everybody else around this ecosystem, I'd say. So our clients and the people who apply for jobs or are trying to find their perfect employer. So that way, we hope we can at least make it a little bit better for everybody. We are a pretty much or very much value-based company. We work with our 4 core values, which are transparency, so honest communication to every way. So to our clients, we are pretty honest and direct in our feedback, and also to candidates and people in the processes. We want to make sure that you won't get left in the dark or anything like that. And social responsibility. So of course, that is a hard metric to concretely like measure, but we believe that understanding your own biases and applying it, or trying to understand how you think and challenging yourself in that sense, and also challenging our clients and the other players in the field, will help us to make the recruitment and work life in general more equal and fair for everybody. Curiosity. We really want to understand the candidates in the processes, what they want to do, and not just being like this computer-like matchmaker that just looks at the keywords and CV and tries to find the match that way. So the culture is a big thing in a lot of companies in Finland, especially. So finding the company that culture fits you is I think it is really important. And then excellence, of course. We never settle for less, and we always try to be better than we were in the last process. We are doing this with our own faces and with our own brand. So of course we want to make sure that the experience with us is always excellent, and you get feedback to your applications and so on. So doing our best is the core in our work. And where we are going, we believe that we don't just want to stay as only a recruitment agency. We are trying to build an ecosystem that basically connects people and companies, and long term we hope to be known as an agency that serves both companies and experts equally and helps them to come together. So not just transactional relationships, more like partnerships that transcend the business in a way. And of course, there is more to recruitment than just doing recruitment processes and so on. There is also other ways of working nowadays, like freelancing and so on. So we want to cater to everybody's needs in this sense. So we currently have Ilmiö Talent agency, which is basically a recruitment agency. Then we have Ilmiö Consulting, that is our subsidiary company, where we work with freelance professionals and help them find projects. And of course, the client base here is pretty much the same, so it just makes sense for us and makes sense for professionals as well during these times where nothing is really certain. So expanding your possibilities is a nice option that way as well. And of course, we are not building a corporation here or a huge mega company. We want to stay as a boutique in a way and keep our values close and not just go to a profiting phase in a company life cycle. So we want to make sure that value stays the same and our work is human-led, even though the technology is furthering and the world is evolving and so on. Here's our team, currently 5 people. You probably will meet me, Emmy, and Michael on the field in some cases. Possibly Sakari and Atte won't be really relevant to you as they are working mainly in sales. But yeah, me, Sakari, and Michael are the three co-founders here. Emmy is our first employee, started in this year, and Atte is running the freelance side. Here's the solutions, what we offer, and how most of these agencies also probably offer to companies, and how you will meet us on the field. So basically, one-off recruitment project. So we have a task from a company to fill a position, and usually what we do, we usually run the full package with job ads, headhunting, and coordinating the whole process. So that's like a full-on recruitment service where the company basically does not need to do anything else than just their own process, and we will coordinate and do everything else. And that's the most common way, I'd say, these recruitment process work with an agencies. And then there's subscription model, which is basically an external consultant where one of us joins a team of our client on a continuous basis. So basically as a part of their recruitment team, and we help them usually with the various recruitment related tasks. We can build processes, we can help them evolve their recruitment processes, give feedback to them, and also be a part of their daily work. And then the Talent Connect side, which we will discuss more on later. This is basically our way to help individuals. Here's a bit about companies which we work with. Some notable ones, of course, F-Secure, which is an international company, but then there is some consulting companies, some product companies. One company which is not related to technology at all, really. So that should give you an overview of what kind of companies you may find your way through us. And here's one example of our work with F-Secure, which is currently ongoing as well. So basically the starting situation usually is that there is a recruitment spike coming up on a company, and they require external support to handle the volume and complexity of different roles across multiple locations. So basically their own team they have their hands full, and they require external help from a senior recruiters. And in F-Secure's case, they are a high maturity, high volume recruitment team, but they needed extra pair of hands during this time, and which is still ongoing. And here's what we basically did in 3.5 months: 12 hires across multiple positions, across multiple locations, and also help them with their recruitment process and interview process a bit. We talk with the recruiting managers and technical leads, and also help them to develop their skills on these processes. And F-Secure is a pretty relevant company, I guess, for most of you, as they are truly international player with multiple locations across the world, and that is, I think, one option that could be interesting to you through our clientele. And here's the most relevant thing for you, I guess, Talent Connect model, which we have started to do this year. It's basically how it works is when we work with the company. We currently work with like 14 different roles across 8 different companies. So there will be a lot of overlap in the roles we are working with, and what then we decided to do that when you apply for one of these jobs, your CV and information is of course in our ATS or application tracking system. And then what we want to do with that is to help you find your way to similar role in a different company if your application doesn't, or you don't get the job in the one project you applied for. So basically the process here is that, in a nutshell, that you are a good candidate for a company A, but another person gets hired there. And what usually happens then, the agency or the company will just close your file and just forget you at that point. But what we want to do is share your profile to other recruiter or to other recruitment manager in a company and see if that could be interesting for them, of course, with your permission. And then that might help you to get your foot through the door in another process to another interesting company, and basically broaden your opportunities and possibilities in getting hired, and also makes good use of our application tracking system, as I think that's what it's supposed to do. So for you, what this could mean: more possibilities. One application can open doors to multiple relevant companies, and also you get an active partner, as we are actively seeking new pathways for great candidates within our network, and we also talk a lot with each other as recruiters in our company, and try to find ways to use that network to our advantage and also to candidates' advantage. If there is a good candidate in some project, you can be sure that you will be proposed another opportunity at some point. And there is usually companies use these platforms as databases where they can then say that, hey, we have 4,000 people in our database, but it doesn't really mean anything if you don't do anything with it, and if it's not any use for the candidates themselves. And so we like to think that it's not just a database; it's more of a network, and yeah, not just a database in a general sense. And here, how to connect and how you can find your way through our processes and our networks, and how we can probably help you. First of all, you can visit our career site and see if there's anything you're currently looking after. But if there is not, then there is a connect button which you can use and send us your CV, brief introduction, and what would you like to do in the future, what kind of roles you are interested in, and then that helps us matching and suggesting various roles for you. And of course, following and connecting on LinkedIn is a good option, as the LinkedIn is like the de facto platform in Finland, at least, and most of the jobs are there available and most of the people are there actively. So that is a good platform to use and connect with different recruiters. And I'd advise you to connect with as many as possible and find as many interesting companies as you like and follow them, and that way you will be notified when there is something interesting for you. And some tips when you reach out: there is a couple of things we are looking for and what helps us to help you. Basically, instead of just sending a CV and asking, please find me a job, is not really helpful at all, and that happens a lot. Instead, I'd be interested to hear that what are you looking for, what are your goals, what kind of culture you thrive in, what kind of challenges you'd like to solve in a technical field, for example, what kind of things you'd like to learn, what kind of projects, what kind of domains. You get the point. And then some motivations, like what is your passion, what is the technologies you like to work with, and problems you want to solve. So basically, professional profile and your aspirations and passions, and where would you like to take your career next. And that helps us a lot when thinking about people for different roles and going through the role specifications and then thinking about the people who could be suitable for that. Thank you. That's all. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
So thank you, Anton. That was a wonderful presentation. There are a few questions. I don't know if you see the Q&A section also,
Yes.
but I think you already answered the CV. If there are no project or job openings at the moment, can you consider those or do you save them?
Yes. Yes. So basically through the Connect system in our career site, you can just send us your CV and your profile, and we have AI assistant in our ATS, which usually when we start a new project, we go with that through the different CVs and see if there is any matches available, and then we are in contact with the people who could be suitable for the role. So yes,
Okay.
it is still really relevant.
Okay. Then there is one more question. Do you hire for TA roles? What they are? TA
Yes,
roles. What?
talent acquisition roles. Yes.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, perfect. We just hired one person this year to our team, and basically we are not focused on hiring TA people, or the companies we work with don't really use external consultant for hiring a TA roles, as the best people for finding a TA people are usually the in-house TA people, so they find the people they like to work with. But of course, we plan to hire to ourselves next year again, and then we also work with freelancers on TA field. For example, this year we have worked with 3 different freelancers in cases where we think that our skill set is not good enough or is not suitable for the client need. Then we go through our networks of TA people and try to find a suitable one for the client. So yes, we don't really hire TA people except ourselves, of course, but freelancing is usually the way to go in our model.
Yes, that's a good
And of
idea.
course, we like to network with TA people, and we have done some cases where we have suggested a person to a friend at the company who is hiring a TA person, and then that person has been get hired. So networking is good.
Yeah. Yeah, so do you prefer LinkedIn and then through that one or
Yes,
personal?
LinkedIn is I think the best channel to get in touch, as that is where I work most of the time as well.
Mm.
But email is also good. Just connecting is good. Which way you prefer? But I guess I prefer LinkedIn.
Okay, then there's one question. You don't need to answer this if you don't like, but what percentage does your company charge from the gross monthly salary of a candidate employed through your services? That can be your secret.
None. No, that is not. We are a transparent company, and all of our prices are available on our website as well. We don't have that kind of model.
Okay.
We have just a sum for senior roles. I think we are currently charging 9,000 euros with 25% when we start and 75% when the project is finished happily. So yeah, no these kind of percentages or anything like that. Just a nice round sum, which you know
Good.
beforehand.
Yes. And then there is a question, what exactly do talent acquisitions do? Do they support the company more or the job seekers more?
Yes, good question. That is something we also talk talk about a lot with each other. Of course, the client is who is paying the money, and is who is actually making sure our business stays afloat. But it's a two-way road, as if you do not support the candidates or help them, you pretty easily can ruin your reputation on the field, and also I don't think it's right thing to do to only think about what the client wants or go with by their whistle only. So yeah, I guess it's we try to do both equally, but sometimes of course it's not easy when the client is demanding and there could be a lot of candidates. It is not easy thing to do, but we try to do it equally.
That's nice to hear. Okay, I think that was all. There are no more questions that I can see. So thank you very much, Anton.
Yeah,
And thank you
thank you.
for
And
our...
one thing to add to that, came
Yes.
to my mind when we through this Talent Connect model, which we do, where we try to help the individuals themselves. That is more of a we help the individual and then ask the companies basically, hey, this kind of a profile came to us. We know you employ this kind of profiles. Would you be interested in? And that is our way of basically being on the candidate side in that kind of scenario always. So yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, that's all.
Then there is one more question, and we still have time. Just came in. There is a person who noticed a couple of positions in Finnish. Reading through those, it is not always clear on why it is in Finnish or why it is mandatory, especially when there are other open positions in English. Can you provide guidance for that?
Yes, that is my biggest grievance within a Finnish job market and basically the whole technology field in Finland. One case is, of course, the companies have gotten used to talking in Finnish in their work, so that could be a difficult bridge to cross. And that is something the companies themselves are talking through a lot. Should we cross that bridge? And when you cross that bridge, then the company changes because then it becomes an international, which I think is a good thing, but change doesn't come overnight, of course. And we also try to help the companies with that and try to tell them that you should do this maybe. But then one thing, especially in consulting field, it's more complex because the end client is then who is paying for the salary basically. And when the end client wants a Finnish speaking for a specific need, if it's like a software architect role who needs to talk in through a various domains inside the company, then there could be people inside the company who want to converse in Finnish only, and that's when the client then asks only Finnish speaking to this role. But yeah, that's basically it. It is a slow change. There is companies who are more willing to hire international people and English speaking, and companies who use English as their main language. And I think it's been growing a bit, the amount of companies who are English speaking. But yeah, it's a slow transition, but I think we will wake up to that sometime pretty soon, as the talent density in Finland is not that good, especially in the niche roles or the high-level technical roles. Like in the case of F-Secure, there are roles which are not found in Finland at all. So then you need to look abroad. Yeah, that is it.
Okay.
It is in a nutshell.
That was good. Thank you very much, Anton, and thank you for our great audience. Our time is up now, and the session in this track continues at 1:15 with the presentation of startup refugees. So thank you, everybody, and thank you especially, Anton.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody who listened through, and hope to see you on LinkedIn or on email box.